we are going to continue learning, and we want to bring you an experience from a family. Not only a family, but a family friend who have taken their time to sit together just to create a message for me and you. We are going to realize something that has been lived during hard time, but as a family, they have managed to have a lesson out of the challenges. Just be prepared to meet the Mainas.
We are Mainas Family. I'm Robert.
Helen.
And together,
The love of Christ.
we use Mainas.
Yeah, we are parents, so we are blessed with 3 beautiful girls, 2 young adults, and a small girl. We are thanking God for that. And we are also members of Nicoroi Catholic Parish, and we belong to St. Cecilia, small Christian community. We started the year well, and we had so many plans for the year 2020. Like everybody said, the year 2020 is the year of double blessing, but we didn't know that COVID-19 will come to affect us. For us as a couple, we had so many plans for this year. Our daughter graduated December 2019, and we agreed that we are not going to have the graduation ceremony last year, that is 2019 December, because it was almost Christmas time. So we decided that we will have her graduation ceremony on her 24th birthday. We had arranged everything to be done in March, but it didn't happen. That one also we feel, and she also feel that it affected her. But we are still hoping that things will come back to normal and we have the graduation ceremony done.
The celebration for our daughter, we had high hope, so high hopes, because she is our first daughter and she had graduated. And what we had planned for her affected us in that we have seen her morale has gone down because she was stressed, because she had high expectation, because for having graduated she wanted to have a big party together with her colleague, friends and the sibling. Due to that, me and my wife, we have encountered some challenges because her morale went down. We have now to have so many sections now to try to talk to her, to show her things they are going to come to normal. But as this disease goes by, it is also affecting everyone. But due to the couple power we have, me and my wife, and together with now the way we are living, we have the values of couple power that we have every evening. We have a session, and thus we have been able to talk to our first daughter, and now the other 2 siblings we are able to cope up, and through the talking she has overcome the issue. And because of the family hour, the one we have every evening, and we have been able to encourage her and encourage the other, because even the other one, the second born, she was also affected because she was supposed to do her exam at the end of exam for her 4th year, which did happen. And as a kid, they are so devastated, so we have to talk to her. And the other one, the young one, also she was going to standard 7, and she has also high expectation. She is going to join a new class, and it was not possible. So with all those challenges, not holding the graduation ceremony at our home, now the other one not finishing her 4th year, then the other one not joining the class 7 as her anticipation. So that challenge for us now to be able to cope up, it has been an issue, but now we have been able, because of the way we talk, because in our home we don't communicate, we dialogue. So with dialogue, we are able to get the feeling of that person, and we are able now to overcome the issue.
So as Robert has said, about the graduation ceremony of our daughter, and it has really affected us, or mostly it affected her as a young person. But we encouraged her using what we call in marriage encounter dialogue, and also having the ME values. We had the couple power to work together, talk together, we dialogue, then we came to her, then we helped her, and we are able to make her understand that things will be okay. It is not only in our home, it's not only in Kenya, but in the whole world, that we have these problems we have the problem for COVID-19. So first of all, we thank the marriage encounter values, because it is the one which has kept us moving. It has made us, and through the dialogue, it has made us go through any difficult time. We are able to dialogue, we are able to solve our problem. And I think up to now, because it's about 5 months down the line, I think the girl has understood everything, and we are able to move on.
Before we joined Marriage Encounter, we lived a normal life, a husband and wife, where we didn't, there are so many things, but we are living just normal, going up with our day-and-day routines. But one Sunday, a friend of mine, Robert Mwambuli, whom usually go to the same church, Nkoroi Catholic Church, he had joined the marriage encounter before us, so he told me about it, and he requested me whether we can go for a weekend. And he told me once you get from the weekend, if at all will not have added anything or have not gained something, then he'll be able to tell us what we are supposed, and where now else we are supposed to go. But when we went to the marriage encounter weekend, because you go on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, whatever we were taught from that weekend, I was able to evaluate myself and to know myself better, in that the way we are living now changed, because we were living normal life, and I was able now to know this. Now they are the values of the marriage encounter. I was now able to communicate freely with my wife. If at all I have to, when I go somewhere, I have to say where I'm going. When I'm leaving, then I have to tell her I'm coming back. We have to communicate and alert each other. So because we changed, there before we used to communicate, but we changed from communicating the way we're giving orders, do this, Helen, can you do this? Robert, can you do this? But from marriage encounter, we changed from communicating to dialoguing. And when you dialogue, you feel the other person feelings. If at all she is down, she is up, she is happy, you can now be able to detect, because every night we have to have a 10-10. She talked 10 minutes, I talk 10 minutes, we write 10 minutes, then we share whatever each and everyone has encountered during the day. And then once we share, then we can now be able to exchange what I have written down, and what she has written down. With that, I can now be able to feel where I was unable to express myself. Through writing, you express yourself well, then your spouse can be able to pick, and now from there you can now be able to solve your issue, the one you have. So from there, then we have brought that to our young ones, that every evening we have to play together, we have to eat together, and also we have 1 hour to share whatever one has experienced during the day. So with that one, then we feel better, and now the bond, we are able now, the challenges we are having actually, because we had the value of the marriage encounter, is now a continuity of what we have been doing. So the challenges we are able now to solve slowly by slowly, because we are so free, so no one can be able to hide what is he or she is feeling.
Yeah, we joined Marriage Encounter May 2004, and as he has said, the time we were joining the Marriage Encounter, we didn't see as if we have any problem in our marriage until the time we went there. But as we say, when we dialogue with him today, we say that he was taking me for Marriage Encounter and I was taking him for Marriage Encounter. And we thought we don't have any problem in our marriage because we were living normally. By the time we went for a weekend, we knew, as he has said, how to dialogue, not to talk. And by dialoguing, we usually listen to each other, because he can't talk, I talk, I can't talk, he talk. We have to listen to each other, and especially by writing, because we say when I talk and he talk, no one is listening to each other. That is talking, not dialoguing. So as he has said, he write for 10 minutes, I write for 10 minutes, then we exchange we call it letter. We exchange our letters, we read, then we discuss for 10 minutes, then that way we are able to solve the problem. And also when we were going for the marriage encounter, we had our 2 daughters, and they were very young. She was 6 and the other was 2 years. So we were just bringing the children to bring them that they grow. But from the time we got encountered, we knew how to bring up the children, how to dialogue with them also. And not every time that beating children, you also have to listen. We started listening to her, our firstborn, we started listening to her. What's the problem? Why did you do this? What happened? And we are able to move well and to do our things very well. Also to cope with our in-laws, parents in-laws, and sisters and brothers in-law. So we have moved on very well, thanking God for that. And we thank Mr. Mwamburi who introduced us to Marriage Encounter.
Before we joined Marriage Encounter, me being a Kikuyu, we know men are supposed to be given respect because they are the head of the family. But immediately we went to the Marriage Encounter, there are some values that were added onto our life. One, listening with your heart. And listening with your heart, it has impacted our life in that when we are talking or we are sharing, I'm sharing something with my spouse, I let her talk. And in so doing, whatever she is feeling, because I always look at her when we are talking, we can now be able, beside listening with the heart, I now can be able to see her verbal body language. If at all I have not convinced her on what we are talking about, now through the verbal communication, I can now be able to get to see whether I'm being able to feel her feelings, and whether she is able to feel my feeling also. And in so doing, if at all our communication is not connecting, so we have also now, that's why we have to, we need to light, because when you light something, you are able to express it explicitly, and you now can be able, once we exchange our letter, now she can now be able to ask me, why have you written this down? Then I can now be able to explain to her better, because some things you cannot be able to explain through when I'm communicating, but either verbal can communicate or written. So once we share the 3 elements, the value of the 3 elements of marriage encounter, while we are doing communication, so listening will now be able to make her see through my reaction, what the reaction, whether she can now be able to pick whether I'm lying or I'm not lying. So with that, I tend to think we are able to feel each other, and then once we do the dialogue and listening with heart, after finishing our dialogue and listening, we start with listening, then dialogue. Whatever we do, then we pray together, because we don't leave things hanging. We have to, whatever we are discussing, the issue we are discussing, we have to complete it. And after we finish, then we pray together, then we go to sleep. Then there is one slogan we use in marriage encounter. If at all I wrong my spouse and we don't solve the issue, we always ask ourselves, if tomorrow never comes, where will you go? That thing will eat you forever. So that's why marriage encounter, talking, listening with the heart, we direct it with our life of tomorrow.
As my spouse has said, we ask, that is maybe every couple has got its own way of solving the problem. But for me and my spouse, the three things that we do when there is any problem, we first identify the problem, where the problem is coming from, then we write it down. After writing it down, we share. After sharing, then we dialogue. Because when we don't write, we try to solve our problem. We can't solve it because we'll keep on shouting to each other, nobody is listening to each other. So when you write it down, you are able to solve the problem. Because I'll read whatever he has written, and he'll read whatever I'm reading and the way I'm feeling. So he'll take my feeling in his heart that I did this to my spouse and my spouse did this to me. So we are able to solve our problem without shouting to each other, and also we don't do it when we are annoyed. When you are writing, you are able to relax. So we are able to solve our problem very fast, and it doesn't go for so many days. And also, as he has said, we usually ask ourselves, if tomorrow never comes, he has gone or I'm gone, he'll be left or I'll be left with pain in my heart. And we agreed to be solving the problem because we don't know about tomorrow. And this also we have taught our children. Whenever they are annoyed, when you tell them, with young people, you can tell you try to correct them and see that it is something bad that you are doing to them, or you are making noise. The way they say, Mom, you are shouting, Dad, you are shouting. But we taught them that, yes, there is a problem, but you have to solve it. And for them, we don't do it through writing, but we have the dialogue. So in families, dialogue is very important. And for those years, we have lived together since we went to marriage encounter weekend. We are able to solve those problems, even to our children, our relatives, and it has also helped in also our parents. When you have the difference, we usually tell them we have to sit down and solve. So we are thankful to marriage encounter, and we can also tell the other families it works a lot, and it has been helpful to us, and we are living. Yes, we are not the best couple, but we are trying to live the healthy marriage life.
As my spouse has stated, even if we do listen with heart, with dialogue, not everything that we agree on, but we keep on revisiting the issue, because what we know, my feelings are not her feelings. What I think might be right and what I think might not be right on her side. But we need also to know my feelings are neither right nor wrong to myself. But to my spouse, whatever I'm thinking is right might be wrong But once we sit down and dialogue, we can now be able to iron out where I have an issue, where she has an issue, then we agree. During this time when you are having difficulty because of COVID-19, so many couples, us included, there are so many issues that have come, the one we didn't foresee. Because like everyone at the every end of year, before we roll over to the next year, each and everyone has high expectation, plans for the next year. The one now has now made people for this year 2020, people are being laid out because of finances. I would like to ask this question: how many people are unable, because of the finances issues, they are having issues in their home? As we are in that situation, how we relate to each other, how we communicate, how we do things together. With your expectation, we had a high expectation for this year. Our programs, we had planned for this year programs, but we now, because now we are almost half a year and we have not even tackled even one item because of the value of the ME. We have talked about the finances. Now, finances, we need to share whatever plan we have for finances. We have to program ourselves. We need to know which is going to come first. Then we arrange them systematically. Then from there, we are able now to know what is happening. Because of this pandemic, now our expectation has gone down, and we know this is not the end. So after discussion, we now pick from now the small one, then going upward. So we are hoping and we are anticipating things are going to get well. And with that, because the expectation we had because of the finances issue, we have now been able to talk even to our children. We have incorporated our children because there are those programs we do every year. Now we are not able to do them, so we have agreed. Whatever you have, this is what we have, this is what we are facing, and this is what we have. So we can now be able to do this we cannot be able to do this. So from there, we are able to relate well even to the children, because even the young ones, they are the ones who are affected because of the peer pressure. And because of the peer pressure, if at all we don't deal with it from home, and they go out there, they are going to try to do things which are not good. But because of the value you have installed in them, they have to discuss, and whatever one has faced during the day, then you can now be able to show them the way. Because also there is one other element you need to add. In one life, even ourselves, we have mentors. We also need to have a spiritual director. So when you combine these things together, then you are now able to solve issues, because this coronavirus is not the first one. Even before, there were some other pandemics, and when you see the old people, they can now be able to tell you how they were able to overcome it. So even this one, we are going to be able to overcome it with now whatever we are getting from our mentors, because we need, as a family, we need to have old people who can now be able to mentor, because even the life, you need also to have living experience of what people has encountered.
As a wife and as a mother, I'm very grateful to Marriage Encounter, because it has taught us so many values, how to deal with problems and how to solve them. I'm also grateful to my spouse, and I usually say that I'll never get another you. Even if I'm given another time to choose a spouse, I'll also choose you as my spouse.
Thank you.
So I'm very grateful. We are able to bring up our children, and then we are able to solve the problem, which has made our lives so easy. I hear so many people saying that the marriage is not working, but I usually tell them that the marriage, it works. Ours has worked, and we have seen so many marriages working, and I believe also the ones who are saying that they can't work, it can work. What we need in this world and in this life is only what is very important is dialogue. We wrong each other and we get annoyed, but we usually solve the problem before it become a mountain. And we usually say that small things start and you keep quiet. Today it's something small, tomorrow it will be something small, it becomes like a balloon which you keep on growing. When you grow it, at the end it will burst. So we are very grateful to Marriage Encounter that it has taught us the family values, the marriage values. We solve our issues before that balloon bursts.
I'm so grateful to have you, Helen, as my wife. If at all I was to be told to go back to the wilderness to look for a wife, I wouldn't be able to pick you. And I love you, and I will keep on loving you. I'm a father, and I'm a husband, and because of the Marriage Encounter's values, as we have said, we have been able to live with them. It is good to know that marriage is workable. And when you live as a husband and a wife, together with your children, you remember this. Friends comes after your marriage. Let your marriage be ahead of you. Friends comes after you, the marriage. So, I urge you, fellow men, to respect your marriage. And when I say respect your marriage, respect your wife, respect your children, grow together, share together, all those things are possible. And because of the Marriage Encounter, we are able to solve issues as they come, and you let a heart to your wives and an ear to your wife to listen to, and give them a shoulder to lean on. Because of the masculinity, we tend to think about you are only the one who can now be able to do things. But when you give your wife an ear to listen to, things it will be easy to solve them. And also give your children time, give them space, and also don't let your children to come between you and your wife, because children are a product of the marriage. So we need to know that marriage can work when you work together. And the Marriage Encounter is very open to everyone. We will be able to be given the values of marriage, and you will be able to solve issues as they come. And whenever you go, whatever you do, remember your wife comes first, and always remember this. If tomorrow never comes, what will happen?
My name is Ashuta Maina. My name is Bernadette Njeri Maina.
My name is Colette Nduta Maina.
Our parents are Robert Maina and Helen Kirigo Karaoke. In the year 2019, I was able to graduate in the University of Nairobi, having done economics and statistics. I had so much expectations when we hit in the year 2020. I was supposed to have my graduation party, which was supposed to be celebrated March 11th, as I also celebrate my birthday. But due to the pandemic that came across the whole entire world, it was not able to happen. I was frustrated, I was sad, though I still had hopes that something can come about and it still happens. I was able to share with my family, and they also gave me hopes of it's okay, everything is possible, and as soon as the pandemic is over, or as soon as everything stabilizes, something is going to come up and we shall be able to give a Thanksgiving for your graduation. In the year 2019, I was ready to step into another class, which was Form 4, and I was really excited now that I knew I would finish the high school part and start a new life. But since, or due to the pandemic, I was not able to finish, and that was frustrating to me, but I still accepted how it is.
After I finished class 5, I was excited because I'm moving to another class. I had only 2 more years to finish. Then I go to high school. I really felt bad because I couldn't like go to another class. This year is wasted for me, and I'll still repeat the next year.
I'm grateful for my parents because other than having my graduation party, I had so much expectations with 2020, especially when it comes to job hunting. I was so excited. My mom and dad had plans for me. I was sharing with them what I want to do this year. But they called me aside because I told them how sometimes I'd go to bed, cry all night. In the morning, I'm so upset. Then I remember it was one Sunday afternoon after church. Mom and dad called me, we sat outside, and they told me this thing is not only happening to you, it's affected everyone. You just have to accept, and we are here for you. And you're still young, you can still venture into your dreams, and it's not late, and we'll forever be here together with you. Learning from my sister's frustration, I was also frustrated, and I cried about everything that I had. At first, I thought it was a joke. But I came to realize that being strong for her and also being strong for myself, I got to talk to my family about the stress and the feeling of not finishing my Form 4, and I accepted it.
When I heard that my sister couldn't celebrate her party for finishing school, I really felt bad for her, and most of all that I was excited to have the party, to invite my friends, and we could have been having a party together. I really felt bad. I felt bad for her that she couldn't have her party. And for my other sister, I really felt bad for her that she couldn't go to Form 4, but I told her it was okay. Even me, I felt bad that I couldn't go to the next class.
I'm grateful for my parents because other than having my graduation party, I had so much expectations with 2020, especially when it comes to job hunting. I was so excited. My mom and dad had plans for me. I was sharing with them what I want to do this year. But they called me aside because I told them how sometimes I'd go to bed, cry all night. In the morning, I'm so upset. Then I remember it was one Sunday afternoon after church. Mom and dad called me, we sat outside, and they told me this thing is not only happening to you, it's affected everyone. You just have to accept, and we are here for you. And you're still young, you can still venture into your dreams, and it's not late, and we'll forever be here together with you. What I can say is that I'm very grateful for my parents because, we all need to know that this whole pandemic is happening worldwide, and it wasn't only me alone who was being affected not finishing school. There are other people who wanted to finish school, and I don't know how
they went or how they are faring. But for me, I got a chance to be talked to by my mom and dad, telling me that I should be positive in everything that I do, because next year or any other time, there's still a day I'll still complete school. And from there, I got to learn being prayerful and being positive is something good. That's what my parents taught me.
First, I felt bad because I'm not going to another class. I won't finish that year. I had a lot of expectation for that year. So my parents told me that it's okay. You're not the only one who's sad about it. It's okay. You'll repeat again. There's no problem, and God will help you continue believing in God and being faithful. Yeah.
Being the firstborn and hearing what my parents say, I was able to support my sisters, especially my first sister who is in her form 4. We're able to study together, especially my strongest points. I was able to be able to explain to her her needs and when it comes to studies. And my small sister, we've been doing a lot of reading together, especially when she's doing her tests and her online classes, which she's not able to understand because when my parents are not home, I'm like their parent.
Thank you, Wamboy, very much. She's really helped me with my studies, most especially the geography and the math. Apart from the studies, she has really helped me to open up because I was not really opening up about the things that I'm going through and everything, and she's made me open up and actually know myself very well. So I really thank you for that.
My strongest points being mathematics and geography. I was able to help Njeri, who is in Form 4, and she gave me all her topics that she was not able to understand, and we walked through with it. Every time she will come to me, I'll also go to her and explain to her. And for Nuta, since she's in primary school, everything is not, it's simple, so we're able to tackle each and every subject together.
With my weaknesses, I've learned that having my sister around me, she's helped me a lot, and I would like to encourage everyone outside there, if you have an elder brother or a sister, you can easily talk to them and ask for help, for you will excel in life.
Having realized the things are not getting better, we are able to sit down as a family and discuss the things we're going to do to ease the stress that each and everyone was facing. The things that we do as a family, we decided I spend more time with my sisters, in which before I was not able because I had my things to do. Now we discovered we do a lot of cooking together, we discovered we can dance together, sing together as a family, and these things as we do each and every day, we find life has become easier and easier, even to a point of not noticing there's corona.
As my sister has talked about developing talents, I myself, I actually learned how to do art and design, of which I'm very grateful because I get to show my family how I do things like drawing and learning more designs. As my sister has talked about the dancing and everything, it made me remember of the dance that we had all together, and it was very funny, such that our parents would ask us what we were doing and they were able to understand, and they also joined us, which was something fun and enjoyable.
Apart from dancing, my sisters taught me how to cook my own breakfast, and I was really happy because since I was going to school, I couldn't cook my own breakfast because I used to go early. So they taught me how to cook eggs, oats, yeah. My talent is to cook, and what my sisters have taught me is to cook more, to encourage, and I hope that they continue teaching me for the next 5 months. I hope I learn more recipes.
I want to challenge you, the young people out there, do not be stressed by this pandemic. There's so many things you can do out there. especially learning how to communicate and being open to your family will ease everything and make you feel better. Will avoid the stress. So many people out there have felt or even getting to a point of suicidal, but as soon as you go back to your families, open up, tell them what you feel, share everything, have talents you can do, you can enjoy doing something, you can cook, you can read books, just keep yourself busy, and with no time you realize that this is such a small thing that us and together with the whole world, we can get past through it.
I want to say to all young people that this pandemic, we just adopt it, know that it will always be there. I encourage you that make your talents useful and pray to God and be faithful. I thank my family for supporting me. Thank you.
I'm very grateful for having such a family, and for people who are outside there, be positive and always believe in God. Do your part for the people who are going to finish the Form 4 and leave the rest to God.
I encourage everyone out there who's young like me, who had ambitions and dreams, that 2020 was a year of blessings, but do not lose hope. I know we are very great innovators, we can have something to do, and we are able to tackle each and everything together. And for my family, I'm very grateful for having such a great support from you. I love you and I pray for you that as things go by, we should stick together till the end. Thank you.
First of all, I thank God for bringing us this far and also for keeping us safe. We pray that you continue keeping us safe and we are able to stay with this situation. I also thank my spouse for being there for us. Whatever you do for us, we really appreciate. Yes, God to keep you and to protect you. I also thank my children for listening to us. We can't complain a lot. They listen to us. They appreciate whatever we do. So we are very grateful. And to the others who are outside there, please remember God is with us. Listen to your parents. Do whatever you can. I know God has given everyone a talent. You can be doing something at home, something that will help you in the future. You can also learn new things. And be encouraged that we have to live with this situation, and we teach ourselves how to do new things and how to live with the new situation. Thank you.
I'm so grateful to God. He has seen us this far, and also to have given me a good family and good spouse, Helen. I'm so grateful for what you do for me, and also to my children. I'm so grateful to have you, and I look forward and that we be one community, we be doing things together, and with what you do, whatever we do together is what is making us to stand as a family. To you and to the family which is out there, I want to tell you that marriage is workable. Once you unite. The challenge you face, talk as a family, share your problems, and once you do that, even your children will be able to interact well and know each other better. And whatever you do, when you do as one family, any challenge that comes in between, you'll be able to face it. At the end, you'll be victor. So we appreciate, and I thank God for giving me this family, and I pray that He'll be able to take care of the other families out there.
We are grateful that we have got an experience from a family of minors. As you can see them, they are here. They have narrated what they have done together, and they have learned from each other. We want to look forward that hearing their story, you too, as a family, you will be encouraged. And above all, as young people out there, you have heard what the children in this family have benefited from their parents. We are grateful for minors having lived something that is going to be an example to anyone. Remember what they have said. Their dialogue that they learned from marriage encounter, the values they kept living each day, they taught their children, they have learned them right, and now together they are able to cope during this pandemic. We want to be grateful to you all, and we want to pray for each and every one of you as you keep moving on. May God bless you, keep you safe, as we all look forward to become victors to tell the story.
Thank you.